Because the potential of success and what it can do for you is so much more than the fear of failure. What's up, fam? Okay, so today's Hockbot session, I do want to talk about confidence, okay? And here's the thing, right? I think a lot of people associate confidence with something positive, but actually, did you know that confidence is actually pretty neutral? Okay, and in a moment, you're probably gonna get why I say confidence is more neutral rather than really positive or negative, but it's really something neutral. And you can see I drew something here. Hopefully you can understand what I drew here. But basically, what I drew here are kind of steps, right? So a step down, step up. And why is this relevant to confidence, and why is this relevant to what I want to share? Okay, so what I'm talking about here and what I want to share is that confidence is neutral and it can actually help you get positive emotions, but at the same time it can also cause you to not feel so great. Okay, let's put it that way. And let's talk about confidence and how can you actually get confidence, or how can you build confidence, right? I think a lot of us are just thinking about like, okay, I want to have confidence, right? And you feel that you don't have confidence, and it's just a matter of believing in yourself. And that's not really the case. Confidence is actually more tangible-ish, and it's not something that you can just believe. It's actually a result of your actions, your thoughts, that accumulates, that builds your confidence, right? So what I mean by that is this. For example, you promise yourself that you're going to work out, let's say 2 times this week, 2 times next week, for the whole month. Before that, you didn't have the confidence in yourself, for example, okay? That's how people usually start off in their fitness journey. And then you go on to hit the first 2 workouts of the month. And then like, wow, you feel great, alright? And then you go on to the 3rd one. Sometimes the 4th workout, you feel like, I don't really feel like it, but you still push on nonetheless. And then this starts to build up, right? 5th one, 6th one, go on to finish the rest of the workouts for the month. That's when you start to feel more confident in yourself. Why? Because you actually kept the promise to yourself in terms of you telling yourself that you're going to work out for 2 times per week for the whole month, and you actually did it. You now have proof, tangible-ish proof, that helps you to feel good, right? To be confident that you have what it takes to carry on, because you now know that when you promise yourself that, you actually carry it out. So that's pretty like a positive thing, right? You start to really believe in yourself, you start to have confidence that you are going to be able to hit the next workout, you are going to be able to stay consistent, you are going to be able to fulfill what you promise yourself. So you have that each step, right? This workout 1, workout 2, workout 3, workout 4. It helps to build that confidence upwards, okay? And now you start to realize that actually that proof, and then you kind of stacking up those proofs, that is the confidence stacking up, because you now have confidence that you will do the workouts, right? And actually it's neutral, right? Like confidence is neutral. It's just a matter of stacking the results. Now, what happens if you face something on the flip side, right? So let's use the same example, workouts, and this is probably going to be the case for a lot of you that are struggling. You were told at the start that you're going to work out for 5 days a week, and you're going to work out for 2 hours a day each session, and you're going to run 1 hour each workout, for example. So on the first week, alright, on the first workout of the first week, you'll be like, oh, you know what, you're gonna do it, right? So you start to build up, and then the second day you got the next one also, right? And then the 3rd workout you got it also, and then you start to realize that, okay, I still got it. So you start to build the confidence, right? 5th workout of the week, great, you accomplished the 5 days a week workout, awesome, you feel really good at this point. And then the next week comes about, right? You start to struggle, all right? And because of so many different reasons, like you have some other things to do, and then you start to get really hungry, right? Because of all the cardio that you're doing. Then you start telling yourself, okay, workout 6, you're still gonna do it. You hit workout 6, and then workout 7, you're like, is a bit too much for me, right? This is just not really suitable for me. You start to give a lot of reasons, right? Which is pretty common, right? Even at this point, you probably still have some reasons, but it's going to be more likely for you to not hit the workout because it's really too much at that point, right? There is you being lazy and too much, okay? But there's also you being hardworking, but it's just really too much for your lifestyle, right? So what then happens is workout 8, you don't do it, all right? So you start to, okay, you promise yourself you're going to do workout 8, but you didn't. So it starts to go down again, all right? Then maybe workout 9, or workout 9, you hit it, okay, it goes up. But then more likely than not, you start going to have like workout 10, you're not going to achieve it. You just don't feel like it. Workout 11, you're not going to feel like it. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down. But eventually, more often than not, this is the trend. You start to not fulfill the workouts, right? You start to not work out according to the things that were given to you, right? Because it's just really crazy. And at this point, you are starting to build the confidence in yourself that you won't be able to hit the workouts that you promised yourself. So that is still kind of a confidence, right? And that's why I said this is neutral. Like you are really telling yourself and you're training yourself and building the habit and confidence in yourself that, I know this sounds a bit crazy, but if you think about it, think about it yourself, right? You are actually building the confidence in yourself that when things get tough, you're not going to push through. Okay, and it's not even like a matter of being lazy, but it's really because it's really tough. But your brain doesn't register that, right? You don't really register that unless you're really aware. And then you start to have that confidence that, you're not going to be able to complete your workouts. You're not type of person to be able to push yourself to work out. And then it starts to spiral. You start to generalize it, and you start to tell yourself that you just cannot maintain working out. You just cannot lose the weight. You just cannot lose the fat, right? Because this cycle repeats, and you start to build confidence in this case, right? You start to really just drop back. Emotion wise, you're dropping, all right? But confidence wise, you are actually gaining confidence in yourself that you cannot achieve this. And actually, a lot of us are facing this when the steps are too big, right? It's too much of a climb, it's too steep. Maybe at the start we have that motivation, but it just really doesn't make sense. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I really want, and I hope more of us can be aware that the things we choose to do, and it's good to try things, but once it starts to affect your confidence in a way that is probably not helping you, you got to know when to switch. When to quit, that's one, but you could also try different other methods, okay? I will say you typically do want to give yourself a considerable appropriate amount of time to try things and see that how it affects you, not just in terms of how your body changes, for example in fat loss or fitness, but also how that affects your confidence in a way that you want the emotions to be positive or not so positive, right? So that is really important, right? And honestly speaking, if some of you may be wondering like, okay, Hock, so what's a good amount of time to gauge whether something is for me? I will say at least 4 weeks. Typically at the end of 2 weeks, you probably should see some kind of progress in the way that you want, but the 4 weeks is a good gauge because it goes a bit beyond the motivation stage, and it just shows you like, okay, if you need to push yourself, how is it going to be, and how the progress is relative to what you actually want at that moment, right? So give yourself a good amount of time, go through a cycle, try for yourself, and really judge for yourself like whether you're building the confidence in the way that you want, right, as it relates to your emotions, how you feel, and your goal, right, and see if you need to change things up. Okay, I think this is really important, and like I said, it's pretty neutral, but what it ends up training you to feel, it's really one of the things that I think are causing a lot of misery in people. All right, so if you really feel like you cannot adhere to a diet, for example, in your weight loss, you've got to ask yourself, is it because you keep trying, it doesn't really work? And if there are other methods out there, right? Maybe diets are just not for you, meal prep is just not for you, or who knows, calorie counting is just not for you. So many different methods, but most importantly, push through, give yourself ample time to try, maybe about 4 weeks, and then ask yourself like if this is really working in the way that you feel or want to. Okay, like I said, you do want to give yourself a bit more time, but not too much time. Alright, but giving yourself a bit more time is important also. You don't want to judge right away, because typically if you judge right away, you're probably just jumping around and you're not allowing yourself the opportunity to see and appreciate what that 4 weeks could do for you. Alright, so anyway, that is my piece on confidence, and that is actually really important. Okay, not just in the fat loss fitness side, but in life also. There are a lot of things that we choose to do that either build our confidence, it's always building our confidence, but in a positive way or negative way in terms of emotion. The things you're trying, is it building your confidence in the way that you want to be building your confidence? Right? So if it's not, evaluate, change things up, and don't be afraid to try. Okay, I know it's going to be harder to try things when your confidence is putting you in a way that you feel like you cannot achieve things, but trust me, it's just a matter of finding the right fit at that moment, and you'll be able to go again. Okay, and realize that failures should not stop you from trying. Okay, because the potential of success and what it can do for you is so much more than the fear of failure. Okay, anyway, that is my piece, and thanks for joining.